we have a... Oh, I can't say we anymore because I don't work at Plexure anymore. But hello, good people of YouTube. It's me, Choiboy, and once again, welcome to another Sharesies Portfolio update. And this time it's for 2021 July. It was quite a rough year so far. I think it was quite interesting. A lot of roller coaster rides. Ever since I dipped into the US market, everything just went to crap in a sense, you know what I mean. But here we are, still rolling around, still in the negative slightly. Sharesies changed up their layout and stuff, so we'll kind of talk about that. So disclaimer before we go into it, I'm not a financial advisor. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm not a professional. I'm just an amateur, just like you guys, just sharing my thoughts and opinions about stuff. Buy everything after researching a lot about it. So let's get straight into it. So mind me, it's the new platform, so like new layout, so we'll do that. So the portfolio update is 18,000 New Zealand dollars. So how much has that changed? Let's actually, give me a sec. In the June update, it was $21,000. Now I didn't add more money or anything like that. Obviously, I'm down 3k from a month ago. And what happened? BlackBerry happened. It's the same old. It's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I don't know really what's going on with it. So let me know if you like this. So they have the portfolio value like this now. And there's a few big changes here. So this used to be like a scroll thing, like a scroll page, like a mini page here where you can see portfolio value. You go once over, then you can see the return and the simple return and how much you put in. But I'll do it at the end of the video, so keep tuned for that. I'll talk about what the numbers actually mean because it might be quite confusing for some people. And if you go to the next page, it would have shown you the chart. Now you can see everything in one place. You don't have to click stuff. So it's pretty good in the sense of you can see the whole picture in one page. It's alright. So when you want to see the graph, then you just go in and you can just see how much you put in and stuff like that. But how much you put in is actually not the New Zealand dollars you put in. So I'll talk about that as well. So give me a sec. So the total return is around negative $1,000, which is around 3.86% on the negative. And apparently I put in 25.6k total. And this is me putting in money into investments, not the amount of New Zealand dollars I put in. I'll get to that. If we look at the chart here, it's the same old, just up and down, roller coaster ride. As always, we have this BlackBerry driving this massive uptrend, then, it just died off and it's still going down. So BlackBerry's just not been doing too good, to be honest. I've been looking through some of these, so they always talk about this high risk, low risk, and medium risk. I don't think anything is low risk, but maybe like the bonds or cash funds. I don't know if they have any in Sharesies, but if that would be like lower risk. But medium risk would be like funds, and higher risk would be any kind of individual stocks. So if you buy only companies, like no funds, you'll be like me in the higher risk and 100% in there as well. So I don't really put much thought into this unless I buy some funds. Then I can kind of see the split between funds and companies, but that's about it. There's not much to it. So you can choose, if you have different risk level kind of investments, then you can filter them here right away. So there's a bit of changes here going on. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So first one, BlackBerry hasn't been doing much. $10. It's jumping between 10 and $13, something like that. So in June we saw that go up to 15.8 again. I think Wall Street Bets had a pretty good coverage around that, but it just slowly decayed over time. I don't really know what to expect anymore, but it seems like there's some kind of support level at $10, which is good, because if they can justify a $10 support level, then it won't dip much lower than that, and even if it does, it will bounce back up. And when that happens, it shows you that people don't see the value under $10 because there's a buy wall there. A buy wall is when there's a lot of buy orders at around $10. So that's what creates the support level, and we can kind of see that because it's kind of jumping off that $10 range, but only time will tell if that will break or it will allow the price to jump off to a higher support level in the future. So we don't know what's going to happen just yet, but it's a good one to look into. The earnings reports, it's not really helping the company. Like, the company is slowly kind of going down in terms of revenue, but their earnings are getting better. So I personally think BlackBerry is gonna jump someday. It's gonna go well into $20-30 kind of ranges. That's where I see BlackBerry, and that's why I'm not too fussed about it, even though I have a decent amount of money in it. I have 8.4k USD in it, and I am already down for 4k on it. So it's quite an interesting one that I've just been stuck on for like the past half a year, but I do see a lot of potential in this company. So it's a bit of a medium to long term game. As I mentioned to everyone, I'm expected to be on BlackBerry for at least 2 years, in my opinion. I'm not going to sell on a loss because I know there's potential there. But it will only get to a point where I will only sell this company if I see some fundamental changes in the company. Like the product is, faulty, or they have some marketing issues. Something changes in the company that, heavily contributes to the success of it. So if that changes, I'll be looking into selling it, but I don't see anything like that just yet. I just see upside potential for now. So that's BlackBerry. Nothing too crazy going on, just the up and down as usual. Next one, we got Virgin Galactic. So I'll go Virgin Galactic first because it's another US stock. So Virgin Galactic had a lot of hype in the previous kind of months. We saw the successful test flight. We saw some FAA approvals so they can take passengers on their aircrafts. It's looking good for the company. It's just really volatile. You can see that it's dipped a lot from June. Like June was its all-time high. What happened last time was I sold a bunch in June because it was at its all-time high, and I was like, okay, it's going to bounce off that resistance level here. So let's say the resistance level is in the 50s, in the mid-high $50 range. And when it was around there, I sold. When it's a volatile market, it's good to profit take because you just don't see it going up and up and up unsustainably. That's the problem. So I think I saw a bit of a peaking going on, and I just sold half of it pretty much, and it came back down as usual, and I bought Rakon with it. So that's where Rakon comes in. So Virgin Galactic, there's nothing much going on. Same old roller coaster ride here. Same with BlackBerry. So the two US stocks are just going up and down like crazy. On the other side, we got NZ stocks, the boring ones. Everything's stable. It's just doing nothing. It's literally doing nothing, which might be a good time to accumulate. So NZ stocks has been stable, like really stable for like the past few months. Like no jokes. So Plexure, same old. It's just bouncing around the 70-cent range. It's literally doing nothing for the past month. But one good thing is that I can kind of see a support level at 70 cents. So there's a thing where it's not going too much lower than 70 cents. So I think this is where people are comfortable just, consolidating in a sense. It was on a downtrend for a good half a year, and it just stopped in June pretty much. And it's just doing that. But who really knows? Who really knows what's going to happen? But it seems like it's not going lower than 65 cents for what I can see, which is good. And it bounced up at 65 cents before as well, here as well, back in May. So there's a few things going on with Plexure. We saw the CFO resign, Andrew Dalziel. We have I can't say we anymore because I don't work at Plexure anymore. But Plexure has a new CFO coming in soon. So they have a new CFO called Andre Gaillard. Is coming from Genesis. He was the GM of Genesis. Genesis is the energy company in New Zealand. It's just like Mercury, Meridian. Like they provide energy to consumers and businesses, I guess. Poached a good person. I did some background check on the person. Looks pretty legit. We'll see how well the new CFO works in Plexure. But Plexure CFO wasn't leaving because the financials were like over the top or anything like that. Like, there was not much going on with the financials. Plexure is going to be an interesting one to look into with the recent Pit announcement as well, having them on board as a client. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how they set themselves up for future growth. As we know it, Plexure is always in that growth mode. It's going to be like that for maybe 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure. It's however long they will take. Investors were slightly impatient with Plexure's progress in the past months, and I guess with the ASX listing and the capital raise they did last year, after all that kind of stuff, the investors want something in return. They're like, what is it that you need all that money for? And they haven't got much out of it except for one pit announcement just for now, but hopefully that's okay. Plexure's having a new strategy officer coming in or something like that, so that's going to be pretty interesting as well, because I think Plexure do need some kind of strategy to make good use of the money they have right now, kind of focus on the growth in the right direction. So that's going to be the key point for Plexure. Still nothing much going on, but the downturn has stopped for what I can see for now. So that's all I can say about Plexure at this point in time. So the last company is Rakon. So Rakon, it's quite an interesting one. It's doing nothing. It's just playing around the same price range for ages. So it's been playing between, $1.80. Just between there, it's just jumping up and up and up and down. So it's in consolidation phase. So it's wondering what it's gonna do. But I do believe the revenue, the beta, the impact, like all their financials look good, and they've been operating as a business for quite some time, around 50 years now. But I don't see it going down anytime soon. I hope it does go up in the future, but for now I'm not too worried about it. I don't have a big stake in it, as you guys know. I only put like around $1,000 in it, so it's not looking too bad for now. So we'll keep on this one. There's not much news about it. Oh yeah, so one thing to mention, Plexure and Rakon both have their shareholder meetings coming up soon. So for Rakon, I think it's in August 12th, and Plexure is sometime in late September, for what I remember. So have a look into that, guys, and they will probably cover the strategic kind of growth they want to go towards, or any business decisions or any changes in the business for the year. So if there's any news coming out of that, then it'll be pretty interesting to see how the market reacts to that. So that was the portfolio update for today. Nothing too much really. It's the same old really. I just lost 3k from the previous portfolio update, but I'm not too worried about it. It is for the medium to long term, so it's okay. It's okay. I would be worried if it was to be like this for another maybe 2 years, and if there's no changes, then I would be very worried about my decisions I made right now, and I would probably regret it. But it's okay. For now, fundamentally nothing changed for any of these businesses. So that's that. So just to finish it off, the numbers here is quite interesting, because this number might confuse a lot of people, and for a lot of people, I don't know if they realize, I didn't put 25k of my own money into Sharesies so far. I've roughly put in around $19,000 total, and 25k total is based off what the amount of the initial amounts I put into these companies, for what I know. So because BlackBerry dipped a lot, like they dipped 4k USD since I bought it, I think that was a very big hit to this number here. So I don't know if you guys remember, back in January, before I bought BlackBerry, I had around $10,000 in Sharesies with my own money, and it was already at $15,000 or so, and it was just hovering around that $15,000 at a $5,000 profit for quite some time. And then I decided to switch it up and bring in US stocks, and I put another 9k into BlackBerry, and I sold a bunch of companies and put it into BlackBerry as well, like Kathmandu, Abano, you remember those companies. Put it into BlackBerry as well, just a bit into Virgin Galactic as well back in December. There wasn't anything crazy going on, but the problem was that back then all that money I put into these companies was around $25,000 in total. It's only dipped a lot from that, because remember, because my principal value in Sharesies would be around $19,000. That's how much money I contributed myself. And then my portfolio grew up to 25k at that BlackBerry peak. Then it just came back down a lot since then. That's why the numbers are bizarre. But you can see that the total return to simple return, it can confuse a lot of people. So just keep that in mind. There is a bit of change there, but nonetheless there is another change. So portfolio value used to have wallet value as well. Wallet value is any dollars that you have not invested, and that used to be part of portfolio value. It came out a few months ago. So the portfolio value is just the money you have in the stocks and funds, and wallet value comes out here separately. So that's another thing to be aware of. And yeah, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Put a comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to the channel. Put the bell notification for my live streams and updates, and any questions or comments, put it down. You know, what you think about the new platform, if you want me to cover some content, things to talk about in the live streams, just anything, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next live stream. Until next time, see ya.